Today is a very special day indeed. For today marks a very crucial milestone in my career as a YouTuber. In case y'all haven't guessed what today is, well, I'll go ahead and fill you in. Today, ladies, gents, and geeks alike, is my 6-year on YouTube anniversary. That's right, I have been making videos on this website for 6 years now. It's been quite a journey, starting out making first a cry for help and desperation of hopefully getting some aid dealing with a trade scammer, to where I am today. A YouTuber who makes the occasional commentary video talking about this, that, and the other. But it's been a really fun journey with a lot of growth for the channel, both in terms of numbers and also content-wise, because I've made a lot of changes to the channel, of course, over time. I'm no longer a gameplay channel, at least dominantly. I still do live streams of gameplay, but my core content is no longer in the gameplay department, so we've definitely come a long ways in all sorts of aspects. So I'm thankful to be where we are now, and of course I'm thankful for all you guys' support. So thank you again for sticking it out with me for these 6 glorious years. Now then, with the mushy stuff out the way, I believe we have some things we need to cover. If you will turn your attention over here, you will see an old video of mine from April 19th, 2018, titled, "Why Fortnite's Battle Pass is Pay to Win." It has garnered over 119 views, and oh my, look at this like to dislike ratio. We got 1 like versus 2 dislikes. I said something very controversial in here. Oh boy, let's take a peek at the description, because I kind of outline my thought process here. Welcome to another commentary video. Today's topic is about Fortnite and the Battle Pass system, and how, in a sense, it is pay to win. Note, this pay to win is not actually a bad thing. I talk about how cosmetics may actually increase self-confidence among players, and how good of a thing that is. The purpose of this video was not to clickbait you or to get an insane amount of views. This is merely to stir potentially like-minded people on the internet. Thanks for watching, y'all, and as always, Maxusthebeast is out. Well then, we are in for a doozy. Now, before we actually jump into listening to what Past Me has to say about why the Battle Pass is supposedly pay to win, I want to provide a quick bit of context behind this one, because unlike the last time I covered one of my old videos in this style of video, the last video I did was discussing a previously established series on the channel, which had a pretty basic definition in terms of how I've evolved the series in modern times. With this video, it's a bit out of the blue. Why would I be making a video talking about pay-to-win cosmetics? Or that the Battle Pass in Fortnite Battle Royale is pay-to-win somehow? Why would I be doing that? Well, this video again was published back in April of 2018. This was during Season 3 of Fortnite Battle Royale's Chapter 1. And it was at this time where a lot of people were making videos of making similar claims, stating that the Battle Pass was somehow pay to win. Typically, these videos would include strange time comparisons, stopwatch times between people with cosmetic items versus a default skin, and they would make claims that the person with the skin would be faster somehow, or was more efficient at looting somehow, where they would record footage of a default skin running at a tree versus somebody in a Rust Lord outfit running at a tree, and supposedly the Rust Lord was faster because the cosmetics were pay to win. There were a series of obscure videos like that advocating for actual competitive advantages outside of just cosmetic items. While in modern Fortnite, there have been a few instances of cosmetics actually playing a competitive role, such as the solid color superhero skins giving you the ability to effectively blend into the environment and catch people entirely off guard. As well as more recently, there was an emote, a free emote called the Dip, which allowed players to effectively dodge bullets. And the emote would even cause aim assist on controllers to wig out. So you would literally dodge bullets, would be able to dodge a shot, and then pop back up and get the kill. So there have been times in modern Fortnite where cosmetic items did provide some sort of competitive advantage. However, it was not, oh, with these items you would loot more efficiently or you would be faster. It was usually the things that you wouldn't really think about, because stuff like, oh, you'll have the ability to run faster is a pretty obvious benefit. Whereas stuff like, oh, if you use the styles of the superhero skin just right, you can become technically invisible. You wouldn't really think about that at first glance until somebody actually does it. So there have been, again, cases of cosmetics in Fortnite actually becoming pay to win, or in the case of the Dip, just overpowered in general because you didn't have to pay for that one. But back in these days when I first made this video, that didn't exist. None of the emotes were pay to win. None of the skins were. You couldn't dodge bullets with your emotes. You couldn't run faster with them. I mean, there were some emotes that would let you dodge bullets in right timing, but again, it all came down to timing. It wasn't guaranteed like the Dip. Back in these days, back in Season 3 of Chapter 1, there were a lot of these videos with, at this time period, typically BS claims. However, I decided to stray a bit away from these style of videos. My argument for why Fortnite's Battle Pass and cosmetic items were pay to win was on a total different mindscape, and we shall examine that here in just a second. It's a bit different than all my other Fortnite related content, as instead of actually playing the game, I'm going to be talking about it. Tonight's topic is something a bit different than everyone else is talking about. Tonight's topic is about the cosmetic items in Fortnite, and why they do actually make a competitive difference. And while they might not directly, make your character more powerful or whatever, they do add another certain level of power to a player. And that is the power of confidence. Now, I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of new players, but the first couple rounds of a Battle Royale game, or in a Fortnite, are incredibly nerve-wracking. And even after a few hours played, I was still very timid of going to locations such as Pleasant Park, or heck, even Dusty Depot. I wouldn't go to locations such as those because I was afraid of getting, killed. So, because of that, I wasn't really a confident player, and I wasn't getting that many kills, and I sure as heck wasn't going to win like that. Okay, on one hand, I can actually understand this part of the argument, at least, because there definitely is a strong learning curve of not just how the game works and whatnot, but also of gaining the self-confidence you need to really push out there and to actually start playing more aggressively. Because it's very easy to play extremely cautiously in fear of losing, because, again, when you're playing a Battle Royale game, you obviously want to win. If you play any game, you obviously want to win, but in a Battle Royale game where only one can come out on top, that competitive nature is typically ignited within a player to want to survive to the very end, obviously, to win the game. And so it's easy to get spooked when you hear the sounds of fighting near you, because with every fight, there's a chance of you getting a kill and getting better loot, but there's also the chance that you might die. It's all really a massive gamble of, will you come out on top, or will you be the one biting the dust? If you win that one fight, will you truly be at an advantage, or will you get third-partied the second that the dust settles? There definitely is a lot of uncertain variables when playing Fortnite, or any Battle Royale for that matter. However, I'm still yet to really see how a cosmetic item will truly build this sense of confidence, or as I phrase it, this power of confidence to make you better at the video game. But carry on past me. Let's see where this goes.
And I'm not saying that that everybody feels this way. I'm just saying that I'm sure it's more than just me. Okay, I'm sure I'm not the only person out there who's ever felt this anxiety while playing, and this lack of confidence. And part of that comes from when you are into the starting lobby area of a Fortnite match, and you see all the other players around you, and they have all the cool cosmetics, all the cool skins, and pickaxes, and special trails when they jump out of the bus and everything. It makes you feel kind of naked compared to everybody else. And it's not a really good feeling, because no one wants to feel naked, no one wants to feel inferior to other players, even if it's not skill-wise. Because I know plenty of no-skins who are pretty dang good at the game. But nevertheless, it's how the way some people feel. They feel inferior or something because they don't have a cosmetic item. And
I'm going to be full honest here. What I just described of, oh, you see all these other people in the lobby with all these cool skins and cosmetics and stuff, and you feel inferior because you don't have the same cosmetic items or whatever. Don't have all those pickaxes and glider trails and contrails and gliders and stuff. To me, honestly, that just sounds vain. Because, frankly, if you're so caught up with skins and stuff, don't get me wrong, Fortnite has a lot of really cool cosmetic items. But if you're going to judge your worth in the game entirely by what skins you do or don't own, that's kind of vain. Because, again, I did say it doesn't matter skill-wise, because there are plenty of people, quote, who are no skins, but are still pretty dang good at the game. And I think, honestly, that summarizes the entire point, or rather provides a solid counter-argument to my entire point. If someone who is playing the game without a skin can be better than someone who plays the game with a skin, then your self-confidence and your actual skill at the game, none of that is tied to the skin or whatever else you're using. It's all really connected to you, the person, you, the player, and where you are in terms of your self-confidence when playing through the game. How you are when dealing with stressful situations in the end game, or fighting through each round. That has nothing to do with your inventory, your cosmetic locker, and everything to do with you as the Fortnite player and how you are in these situations. My entire point can be countered with minimal effort, because the point itself is really dumb, but out of morbid curiosity, I am curious to see where this goes, because I have a feeling that this wasn't it.
And that kind of leads into anxiety, which leads into stress, which of course leads into the players with lack of confidence. And confidence is something that you need to succeed in a battle royale game, regardless if it's Fortnite or PUBG, or heck with it, H1Z1. You're going to need confidence if you want to succeed. And without that, you're, like I said, not going to succeed. If you're not putting yourself in the line of sight of other players, or putting yourself kind of sort of at risk, you're not going to get better at the game. You're just going to end up in matches where you go to the middle of nowhere, get some loot, and then just end up running around an open field for 20 minutes or so before you get sniped by somebody.
Okay, a couple things here. Firstly, I was doing like this almost like Yoda speech of feeling inferior leads to anxiety. Anxiety leads to lack of confidence. Lack of confidence leads to not being good at Fortnite, or something like that. Where was that going? Okay, with that weirdness out the way, again, I can agree with the whole, you know, in some of these situations, you need to go trial by fire to actually get better in order to develop game sense and to actually improve at any game, regardless of what it is. You need to put yourself outside of your comfort zone and actively push yourself to get better at the game. I can agree with that, but I have a feeling that whatever good point that I just made is about to get mitigated by whatever nonsense I'm about to pull out from where the sun don't shine. So I have legitimately no idea how I'm going to try to tie all this stuff together, because I guess even in a book of lies, you will sometimes find a hint of truth. But every good point I've made so far feels really disconnected, because I immediately counter it with nonsense. It's like playing chess with a pigeon. I think would be a good analogy for describing this experience.
Here's where the cosmetics come in. And at least this is something I've noticed while playing after I purchased the Battle Pass, is that with my cosmetics equipped, I felt much more confident, and I didn't feel as much of the fear as I felt before I got the Battle Pass and before I got my cosmetics. And while no, this isn't like, oh, if you buy the Battle Pass you get exclusive weapons that nobody else will, that will actually, you know, do more damage or something than somebody else who hasn't purchased it. No, this isn't pay to win. But in a way, it can be, because if you have enough confidence to go through with crazy plans, to do crazy things, in that mind, you've won. In that sense, you've overcome a sense of fear and a sense of maybe shame even to play a game.
I'm sorry, what? Is my entire argument here just, oh, if you believe in yourself and get confident, you've already won, because your cosmetic items will grant you the confidence you need to succeed at Fortnite? Is that my argument here? In order to boost your confidence to play the game, in that sense, you've already won. What am I going on about? Honestly, at this point, it kind of feels like I'm just saying words. Because I think, honestly, the connection of making an argument of this is pay to win, might have legitimately just hit me in the production of this video. Because initially I'm like, oh, it's not like this is actually pay to win, like this doesn't give you any exclusive weapons. It's not pay to win. But wait a second, maybe it is. Maybe in a way, it is in fact pay to win, because once you get the confidence to do stupid stuff, then you've already won because you've gotten the confidence to play the video game. I think it's a similar phenomenon to what we've covered in the last one of these style of videos I've done, where I get into a video, I get halfway into the project, and instead of doing several takes, editing stuff out, or even thinking things through prior to making the video, I just start saying things. I just start letting my brain pick whatever words it wants and throwing them together until it makes some weird form of sense. But it doesn't. I will go into a video and have no idea what I'm going on about, and will get into a topic of whatever it is, and then figure something out as I go along, like, oh wait, this would sound better, or this might work if I put it in this context halfway into the video, and then try to add those new thoughts in as I'm moving along, which leads to a very incoherent argument and utter confusion for anybody trying to, you know, follow along what I'm originally saying, because with this video especially, there are some decent points in here. However, they have absolutely nothing to do with what I'm saying. The good points I'm making are in defense of the counter argument to what I'm trying to say, of I'm trying to put an argument out here that in some way, shape, or form, the cosmetics in Fortnite make a competitive difference. However, on the flip side, a lot of the arguments I have made are, oh, it has nothing to do with what skin you're wearing. I know plenty of people who are no skins and they're really good at the game. There's your good points there. But again, it's in support of the counter argument. And then, to try to get a different spin on it, I'm now trying to go into how confidence is this big, important thing, and how the confidence is the pay-to-win component. Halfway through my original thought, which again was already standing on a tower of cards, just waiting for a random gust of wind to blow through, and honestly, judging by the 2 dislikes, I think the gust of wind has already come and gone, but I'm just here to, I guess, stir up the already downed cards.
It's just the idea of just looking at your character and seeing a skin on it is confidence boosting. Like, I can't really explain what goes on in the brain, because I am not a neurologist. However, I can tell you that, oh, by the way, that chess was looted. The replay feature is just is weird with chess.
Alright, I'm cutting you off again here. Firstly, here we are back again with the tried and true me going really off topic to talk about the game rolling in the background rather than continue on discussing my original points. Going really off topic to discuss, oh, the chest was already looted there, just replay mode being weird. No one cares. I honestly don't think a single person in this world cares about that one chest in the Loot Lake factories. Nobody in the comment section is going to be paying attention to that. They're going to be focusing in on my stupid points. Also, I seriously mixed up neurology with psychology, because psychology would obviously be the actual field of science that would be looking into this phenomenon. And don't worry past me, with my still rather limited knowledge of psychology, even with my limited know-how of of the topic, I think I can diagnose this phenomenon that you are so desperately attempting to grapple onto. You see, this phenomenon you're referring to of why things are so much better when you have a skin on your character, or something like that. You see, that phenomenon, that's called vanity. That's what that is. That's called vanity. There's nothing more to it. It's just you being vain. There's nothing wrong with liking skins or liking cosmetic items, but making this weird nonsense argument of how it's a confidence booster for you and then applying it to like it's applicable to everybody else. Maybe somebody else out there. Maybe somebody else out there shares this bizarre opinion, right? It's a wide world with all sorts of people in it. So who knows? Maybe there are one or two people or more than that who share this vision. But from my experience, what I have described here, it's just vanity. And I'm trying to describe it as some sort of miracle cure. Like getting a battle pass and getting a bunch of cosmetic items in Fortnite is going to be the miracle cure of how you're going to go from generic noob 101 to pro streamer competing in the World Cup. That's how my argument feels here. Where it's like, you do this, here's your get good quick trick. Get a skin, pay for cosmetic items, spend money, you get good. Skins equals wins, or something like that. That's where I feel like this was going. Again, it's a very bizarre argument, and again, the phenomenon here is vanity. I believe is vanity. That's my non-professional diagnosis. But still better than calling it neurology.
But there is a mental psyche where if you have in your mind the cosmetic, right? It like I said, it doesn't really impact you skill-wise. But there's just something psychological that does that boosts confidence. Again, I can't explain it, but it just does. It's kind of magical in a way. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, like I said, that new players can't be confident without the Battle Pass. Or that these feelings of anxiety and stress and whatever will just go away after you have the Battle Pass. But I think, at least for me, you know, a lot of new players really have the mindset of really wanting to get a victory royale. And to be honest, I still haven't. Okay, I'm just going to be upfront and admit it, I still haven't. So every game, we strive our hardest to get a victory royale and be super try-hard and be constantly stressed out about winning, and if you lose, it's pretty upsetting. But when I got the Battle Pass, in a way it gives you something else to focus on other than winning. It's like, oh, there's an objective saying I have to find a certain treasure map in, let's say, Dusty Depot, and follow it. Which is something different to do than just say, oh, go out there and get kills and get a victory royale.
The reason why I played that very extended clip is because, for those of y'all who did not watch the original video, I just wanted you guys to get a picture of just how disjointed this whole thing is. Again, it's another, I guess, tradition or habit that I still had during this time of doing YouTube, where I was getting better at being more coherent. This was 2018. This was long past my bizarre attempt at story time back in November, December 2016. I had made some strides forward, but was still obviously far away from actively getting to a position that I'd be legitimately comfortable with. Because this was still a rather incoherent mess. I jumped from topic to topic consistently, and they had little to do with each other. Where I'd go from talking about the chest being looted but the replay feature not picking it up properly, to suddenly describing, oh, but if you picture in your mind the cosmetic... I'm just saying words at this point, right? I'm just saying words. There's no coherence. It's just like me trying to fill a word count in an essay. I'm just regurgitating out stuff in hopes that it sticks. That's what this is. That's what that thing right after the chest thing, that's what that was. I'm just saying words where I can't really explain whatever phenomenon I'm trying to explain. So I'm just going to throw words at it until it sounds better. And the word I chose was, it feels magical. That was my descriptor. What? Then I kind of go back on my argument again, where I'm like, oh, I'm not actually saying that the cosmetic items will cure you of your lack of confidence and will make you a better Fortnite player. I'm just saying that for me, it helped get my confidence up, and also that it provided me with something else to focus on, where my argument shift to something that actually makes a bit more sense, I guess. But I'm, at this point, recounting my own word. One thing that, if you're going to make a weird argument, right, stick with it. Because you're giving people more stuff to counter you with if you counter your own point in the same video and barely a few sentences apart from where you initially left off. I'm saying words that barely make sense, trying to make them make sense, countering my own argument by explaining counter arguments to it, as well as making another argument that makes a bit more sense, but it's still countering my argument. I'm also saying things along the lines of, oh, I didn't mean to say it like this, even though I already had said what I said that I didn't say. Are you following? I'm not, but I'm trying to piece this together as we're going too, because this whole thing is nonsense. I have no idea where my argument was going at this time, so I'm just trying to make it make sense and trying to, I guess, counteract any critiques. You're like, oh, I'm not actually saying this, I'm just saying that it gives you something else to focus on. And then I transition bizarrely into me complaining that I haven't gotten a Fortnite win yet at this point in time. Where am I going with this? And why? Why are we still here? Why did I think this was a good idea?
Once you overcome that, you've won. It doesn't matter if you never ever win an actual game of Fortnite. Because at that point, if you can drop the stress, drop the anxiety, drop all that crap, that's when you can start really having fun and enjoying playing the game. I mean, this is called a game for a reason. It's supposed to be entertaining. It's a form of entertainment. Well, yeah, gaming is to some a lifestyle, to many a lifestyle. It's more than anything a hobby. At the end of the day, it's a hobby. It's a pastime. And it's a widespread form of entertainment that more and more people are starting to accept these days, which is great. But once you can start actually having fun with the game is when you've won. And by having cool looking cosmetics, other things to focus on other than winning, and just the whole aspect of working towards something, because us as humans, we like to have a sense of accomplishment when we do something really cool. So when you find this really weird location on the map that you never knew existed before, and you get 10 levels for your battle pass and end up unlocking a really cool dance move, you feel accomplished because you worked hard and grinded for what you wanted.
This whole thing is a bizarre travesty. Because here I am making another argument again that makes some sense, but then I go back on it again, and I've gone in an entire circle of trying to explain my thought process. Again, this entire video here was just me chasing various rabbit holes and trying to figure out where they end up. The video itself is almost 20 minutes long, and about half of that is me repeating myself and sheer incoherence. Not a lot of it makes sense. There are bits of it that can form an argument. There is the framework of a decent conversation point in here. You just have to restructure the entire thing, and you might be able to get to a point where it's an actual argument. Again, it would take some work, but it could be doable with the right thought process, with the right structure. Heck, maybe even a script. Like, write this stuff out, because there might be an argument in here to be had if you actually structured it in any other format than I did in this video. Because arguing that the Battle Pass is a good way to counteract tryhard syndrome, okay, there is an actual argument in that. Structure it like it. Don't name your video "Why the Battle Pass is Pay to Win" and then go on this weird tangent of, is it not? No, it isn't. Yes, it is, though, because of confidence. And just run in this weird, incoherent circle. Make an argument and stick with it. There's one to be had. There is a conversation somewhere in this that could make sense, but I just didn't phrase it right. At all. Instead, I got this weird, gimmicky, clickbaity title. Even though I said in the description that this wasn't to clickbait, but to, quote, draw in like-minded people. Again, there are actual decent points somewhere in this. They're not really connected to each other, and they are very few and far between. And the few that actually pertain to the topic I'm trying to talk about, again, they're few and far between, and then they're immediately counteracted by me creating a counter-argument or just going off the deep end. The moral of the story is, once again, like with the Storytime one, just don't be me. To do better, and don't do what I did with half of this stuff. Proper planning can go a long way, especially when you have an interesting idea in your head. Because I have an idea, I have a thought that when I was making this video, I thought I was doing something. I thought I was actually saying something, and I thought that there was a point to be had, and I wanted to get it out. But somewhere along the line, something changed, something went wrong, and instead of redrafting it, thinking about it more, I just started spitting out stuff and hoping it worked. And what you see here is the result of that nonsense. So that, ladies, gentlemen, and geeks alike, is my take on my weird excuse of a video essay trying to discuss why Fortnite's Battle Pass is pay to win. What do you think? Do you agree with some of the stuff I said in a past life? Was there some merit to my original claims? Or do you agree with me now that I was off my rocker? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I appreciate all of your feedback and all of your support. Again, thank you guys so much for your consistent support over these past 6 years. It has been a great run, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the future has in store for us. So thanks again for tuning in, guys, and as always, Maxusthebeast is out.